Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, if you're new here, my name is Ash, and I'm just your basic random stranger on the internet who happens to love manga, anime, music, shopping, I guess books, and did I mention shopping to an unhealthy extent. So it's been a while since I've filmed anything, especially showing my face on camera. You know, it's just how it goes with me. But I wanted to sit down today because back in 2025 I was doing an unhaul series of all my anime and manga merch, which I still am theoretically doing. I kind of lost steam doing that. But, life got really heavy. I got really sad doing it, and then I just never resumed. So I think I will still be doing that once I pick speed back up in 2026, but I'll be doing that off camera, and maybe I'll just come back and just show you guys what I filmed and what I'm unhauling. And when I say unhauling anime merch, I'm not actually going to take the time to sell it or attempt to sell it or even donate it, as bad as that sounds. I've tried in the past to sell some anime merch, didn't really sell, and I do still like to look back on the things that I really liked and I liked enough to actually buy merch of. So I will be keeping that around for that fact. But today I want to sit down and go through all of my unread books and manga, and in 2026 I want to attempt to read all of this manga and stuff. Sorry, I was just making sure that I'm not going in and out of frame. But anyways, so I'm sat down here with all of my physical books and manga, and it's not actually all of them. I do have some authors that I still have books by that I haven't read yet, but if they're not up on the chopping block, I am going to keep them around regardless of when I get to reading them. So I'm not even going to show them on camera, but I'll talk about it when I get there. And I'm just very overwhelmed because I didn't realize that I had this much anime and merch. Well, let me rephrase that. I knew I had a lot of manga. Just in general, I live in a small apartment, with how things are going in the United States of America. They're not going great. Life sucks here. It is what it is. Slow descent to fascism. I'm pretty sure we might actually be there as of this video being recorded. I don't fucking know. I don't know. So, life is very uncertain at the moment, and I've spent a lot of money collecting manga. It is something I love, but I live in a small space. You don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I'm gonna have to eventually leave that small space and move back in with family to an even smaller space. I don't know. I'm still looking at trying to move overseas somehow, even though I don't have a good enough visa. I don't have a degree. I'm not a skilled worker. I don't know how I would be able to move to a different country, really. But I'm exploring those options. So if anybody from my job ever stumbles across these videos, mind your own business. I don't talk to y'all in person about this, and I won't. So just mind your own business if you happen to work with me and you come across these videos somehow. But regardless, I have a problem when it comes to buying manga. I love collecting manga and books in general. I'm getting back into reading. I actually purchased... Oh, shit. My stylus. I purchased a Kobo last year, and that was actually a really good decision to purchase. I wanted to go ahead and get one, in case things go sour, and I still had the extra money when I purchased said Kobo. I still wanted... So I went ahead and spent, while I still had the extra money, I went ahead and brought a Kobo, and it's been great. It links up with the local library, and I've been reading a lot of ebooks and a lot of manga that I do own, but I also don't own physically, and I don't have to buy to own physically. Because besides manga just costing a lot of money and it being not a necessity, but just a want and just something that I love indulging in, I don't have a lot of space left. A lot of my bookshelves are taken up by, it's really hard to see, but all of my figures and all of my acrylic stands. And I have a lot of these cardigans, which I might go through later on this year and film, and I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but with this series, I want to go through all of my manga collection, and I hate to put this out in the atmosphere, but it is good to let things go, because, you know, it is what it is, and my dreams of owning a house, it ain't gonna happen. My dreams of owning or even renting, a bigger place, probably ain't gonna happen. So I need this space, and if I want to continue collecting manga that I really like, and books, and just merch in general, I need the space. And a lot of this manga I have unread has just been sitting in a plastic tote, and my piles are falling over here. You guys can't see them, but they're going down. But like, a good bit of my manga's just been living in plastic totes, and like a lot of my red manga also lives in plastic totes, and I'm out of room in those. So I want to read all of my unread manga and either put it away or donate it or try to sell it. I've reached out to my in-law, my brother's partner, to see if they would potentially want anything, or if their child would want anything, my nephew. And they haven't gotten back to me, so I might have to ask them in person. But if they would want some of this manga, I would happily give it to them. If not, I'm going to try to give it to libraries. I'm going to try to find local little libraries to donate it to. I'll try to sell some of it online. It's just that I'm lazy. I've found in the past that selling things online is quite a hassle, and I actually kind of hate doing it. So who knows if I'm actually going to sell anything online. But the thought is nice. I might try. I probably won't try. I'm lazy. I lose steam very quickly in doing these projects. But yeah. So I'm going to go through all of my unread manga, and I'm going to give myself goals, manga and books. I'm going to give myself goals. If I do hit my target in reading like whatever mangas I have like put on some kind of TBR game, and I haven't read them that month, it's really bad. If I still have the spare money, I'm going to allow myself to like purchase digital manga using my Kobo, and I'll just have like a digital manga collection instead of physically owning it, which isn't my ideal scenario. I would love to have like the physical manga and put it up on a bookshelf and just like have a room dedicated to like books and manga. I don't foresee that happening in the future with, honestly, the way things are going. I don't have high hopes for the future. I'm just living day by day, and it is what it is. So yeah. And so that's the idea. I don't know if my local library is going to take some of this manga, because I do live in the Bible Belt of the United States. I live in the Deep South is what is considered. And they're not very friendly. They're very closed-minded here. And just talking to some of my coworkers, and like we were talking about like what we had plans and shit like that. The fact that like I'm queer, I'm pansexual. I don't really hide that, and I'm still struggling with my own identity. Like I don't know if I'm actually like on the aromantic scale. I think I might actually be aro somewhere in that realm, but I know I'm pansexual for sure. And like that came up in a conversation, and it didn't actually go well. It actually really kind of made me dislike my coworker a lot. So, you know, just the way everything's going this year, I don't need their opinions. Their opinions don't really matter, because life is shit. But I live in the Bible Belt, and I do have a lot of LGBTQIA plus manga, and I love reading from that perspective. And I mean, I wouldn't get rid of like a lot of my adult manga. If I have adult manga and I don't want to keep it, I'm just gonna keep it. I don't know what else to do with it. I don't think my brother would appreciate my adult manga. I should cut that out, but I don't fucking edit these videos. But we don't have the same taste. I think me and his partner do, but I don't think he would appreciate me giving his partner my adult manga, because like while we have similar tastes, he doesn't, and he is politely, of course, kind of kind of close-minded to. It's neither here or there. It's family. I love them, but what can you do? So I'm going to shut up, quit rambling, and get into this. I have a lot. I'm actually kind of ashamed that I've had these for so many years and I haven't got to them yet. So the first thing that I want to attempt to get through this year is the poetry of Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda is my favorite poet. I absolutely love his love poetry. And I got this collection like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and I'm not really that far into it. I honestly haven't touched this in like 2 years. I used to try to read a poem a day, and like that's how I was gonna get through it. But that, hasn't come to fruition. So, and while this book does look very daunting, I think this is his complete poetry. Every work by Pablo Neruda ever. While this does look very daunting, I don't feel like it is as daunting as it looks, just because this is both the English and the Spanish of his poems. It's originally in Spanish, and these are the translated, and it has both languages in it, which I personally did want it for that aspect, because I don't know Spanish, but I do love reading things, or having things in their original language. And then I have a lot of books by Makoto Shinkai. I have Weathering with You, Your Name, The Garden Words, The Place Promised in Our Early Days, and then finally 5 centimeters per second and Children Who Chase Lost Voices. I love Makoto Shinkai. I love his movies. And I wanted to read all of the light novels that his movies were based off of. I don't know if I will actually get to these. I don't foresee myself getting rid of them either. But I've seen Weathering with You, Your Name, and The Garden Words. And I actually don't have Suzume, which I should maybe buy. Anyways, regardless, I don't know if I would read Weathering with You and Your Name just because I've seen the movie several times. I love the movies. I would read The Garden Words because that's coincidentally one of my favorite Makoto Shinkai movies. I would like to see if the work holds up. I actually do think I have read The Garden Words. I need to go see if I have that recorded somewhere. But the other two I haven't read. I need to get to them. And then even when I finish them, I don't think I'll get rid, because I do enjoy Makoto Shinkai's movies. And then we have How Do You Live by Genzaburo Yoshino. Don't really know what this is about, but apparently it's a Japanese classic, so I would like to get through this year. I don't know where I'm gonna put these piles. Didn't think about that, so maybe once I go through. Anyways, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and quit rambling. And then I have Welcome Back, Alice, Volumes 1 and 2 by Shuzo Oshimi. I have a love-hate relationship with Shuzo Oshimi. I try to really enjoy his works. I think his works are very messed up mentally, which I do like being messed up mentally. I like that thrillerly psychological aspect, and a lot of his works do deal with like sexuality and gender and things like that, but I don't know if I actually want to continue on in the series. I only have volumes 1 and 2, which I really should have bought volume 2, but because I don't know how the representation in this is. I do know that, like, I think it focuses on a trans woman. I don't know. I'll give it a try. If I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. That's what this entire series is about, is just trying all of my manga and deciding what to keep and what to unhaul. And I have to go through all of my red manga and do the same thing. Fun. Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand by Yoko Komori. Don't really know what this is about. I think I just got this because, like, the cover looked really pretty. What's the cover by? And then we have Witches, the Complete Collection by Daisuke Igarashi. I love The Children of the Sea by the same mangaka. and I'm really looking forward to getting into another one of his works because his art is very beautiful. And then we have Jose the Tiger and the Fish, originally by Seiko Tanabe, and the art is by Nao Imoto. I went and saw this movie in theaters. I do own this movie as well. I pretty much only got into this movie because Eve done some of the songs for it, and Eve's my favorite Japanese artist. So I have the manga, and I would love to get to it and see if the manga was like the movie. I don't actually remember if the movie was alright. Not my favorite, but it was worth a watch, and, you know, favorite artist. I love music. What can I say? And then we have Tono Monogatari by Shigeru Mizuki. This has to do with supernatural tales and folklore around Japanese legends and stuff like that. This was also a gift from my brother, so even if I don't like it, I don't think I would get rid of it just yet because it was a gift from my brother, and I do like that he supports my manga habits, even if we don't have the same taste when it comes to manga. And finally, I don't think I'll be reading this one, but I don't think I'll be getting rid of it either, because this was another gift from my brother. He knows that I like Shigeru Mizuki, being an older mangaka, and I was trying to get into some of the mangaka that shaped manga in the modern era. So this is Onward Towards Our Noble Deaths by Shigeru Mizuki, and this is a wartime manga. I'm not really into wartime mangas, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know if I would read this. It might be a little bit too much for me. But I will not get rid of it because it was a gift from my brother. And I'm very, very, very thankful that he thought of me when picking it out. Because I did ask for the what was it? I already forgot. I did ask for Tono Monogatari, and then I think he just picked up the other Shigeru Mizuki because it was Shigeru Mizuki and was asking for a manga by him already. So, I don't have a good way of doing this. I really didn't think this through. I don't want to box myself in because I don't want to get lazy after I film this and not put these items away. I didn't think that through. That's okay. Ugh. Next, we have A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. I read Papyri of the Orange Tree last year. I actually ended up buying it as an ebook because these books are chunky, and just staring at something like this actually makes me very nervous with how thick it is. But I did enjoy the Papyri of the Orange Tree. I was very pleased I managed to read such a thick book last year. So I do want to read this in 2026, and I'll probably end up buying the ebook, which is a waste of money. I am quite aware of this, but I can't rent it from the library because I don't think I can finish it in the time before it would need to return to the library. But I don't know if I would want to unhaul these because these books are stunning, which is a very superficial reason to keep a book, but I'm a superficial bitch, what can I say? Next, I have Nocturnes, 5 Stories of Music and Nightfall by Kazuo Ishiguro. And I'm still keeping this one around for now because I like short story collections and I do like music. I have read from Kazuo Ishiguro before. I didn't like it. It was a sci-fi. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi, so I didn't like the first book I read by him. So I don't know if I'm going to like that one, but I'm going to keep it around for now. And then we have a Haruki Murakami book, Blind Willow and Sleeping Woman. This is a short story collection by Haruki Murakami. I actually have a lot of Haruki Murakami books. I went through a phase when I was still living in Kansas City that I wanted to read all the Haruki Murakami books. And I ended up picking up like almost all of his works except for the newer stuff. And I go through spurts with him, like some of his works very misogynistic. But I ended up not unhauling them, I asked my mom to take those off my hands. I gave her like an entire box of a lot of books that I didn't want to donate or sell, but I just didn't have the space for. And a lot of them were Haruki Murakami. And I kept this one around because my library doesn't have this book, and they're short stories. So I would love to get to that one this year. I think I've read this one. I will have to do some research to see if I have read this. Hopefully I've recorded it somewhere. But this is At Night I Become a Monster by Yoru Sumino. Yes, Sumino. And I love Yoru Sumino. I have a lot of their novels. And they were the ones who wrote I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which broke me on the inside in a good way. So I think I have read this one. I'll need to do like a skim through to see if I have read it, but if I have read it, I probably won't get rid of it just because I like the author. And then I have another Haruki Murakami here, and this is The Elephant Vanishes. I think this is another short story collection, but my library doesn't have this one on ebook or as an audiobook, so I'm keeping that one around just because my library doesn't have it. A lot of the ones that I did end up handing over to my mom, my library had ebooks or audiobooks, and I'll just read them that way once I feel like I want to listen to Murakami. It comes and goes a lot of time. I'm a mood reader, so, and I also get very burnt out when it comes to books. Like, I have a great push at the beginning of the year. Like, the beginning of the year is where I hit my reading goal, and then the end of the year is where I finish hitting my reading goal. And in the middle of that, I don't read jack shit. I read manga, like, but I do count manga towards my reading goal, because, like, I need to get my reading goal in, but I don't know the semantics. I don't really care. It's just an arbitrary goal to hit at the end of the year, but anyways, this is I Have a Secret by Yoru Sumino. I once again will need to do some research. I think I have read this, but I can't remember. But if not, I'm going to read it. And then this is I Am Blue in Pain and Fragile. I haven't finished it, but I did start it, which means I'm going to have to restart it because I don't remember anything about it. But this is a Yoru Sumino book as well, and that's just one of my downsides when it comes to reading and books and things in general. I will start things and then just put them in, and then come back to them years later and have to restart them. Fireworks. I might have read this, honestly. I have such a weird love for fireworks. Like, when I'm just overwhelmed, or a lot of times during the pandemic when we were all stuck inside, I watched the shit out of this movie, and I love the song from the movie. It's not that good. I will admit, this movie kind of blows. It's not great. I don't know if the novel is any better. I might have read it, but I don't remember. But I just have a soft spot for it, so I'm going to keep it around. Hopefully I like it, but I don't think I'll get rid of it just because I do have such a soft spot for just continuously rewatching it when we were all stuck inside during lockdown. And this is 3 Days of Happiness by Sugeru Miyakai? I don't know if I've read this. I feel like I have. Like, a lot of these books in general sound familiar, but I don't remember reading them. But I want to give that one. I'll do some research. If I have read it, I won't reread it, but I won't get rid of it either. And this is I Will Forget This Feeling Someday by Yoru Sumino. And a lot of these books either deal with depression or romance. I don't really like romance, but I am big into depression. Go figure. I've actually gotten a lot better with romance as the years have gone on. I've become less of a salty bitch as the years have gone on. Somehow. Amazing how that happens, but... And then these are some more of my unread novels that I would love to get to this year. This is Sappho, a new translation of the complete works. And this is where the word lesbian and sapphic comes from. I think she was a Greek poet back in the day, and I'm always down to read about some old ass lesbianism. Like the original lesbian, I'm down to read it. And then this is A Cursed Bunny by Borda Chung. I've just had this, like, I think I bought this before I even moved away from Kansas City. I saw a booktuber read this, I think Books with Lala, and it sounded interesting. It's a short story. This is back when I was trying to get back into reading, so I would love to go ahead and give this a read. Yeah, it's horror, sci-fi, fairy tales, and speculative fiction. I do love horror, and I think I like fairy tales. I don't know about sci-fi and speculative fiction. We'll see. And this is just exposing who I am on the internet. But this is Wet Screams, a monster fucker anthology. That's everything I have to say about that, but I will be reading it and probably not getting rid of it. And just hoping that nobody I know in real life watches these videos, because how fucking mortifying is that? But I will put that on my Goodreads, and I definitely have our head of our HR department at my job that is friends with me on Goodreads, and then just some coworkers. So that's always interesting, but they never question a lot of the weird fucking books I put on there, and we don't talk about our reading taste in person because it's fucking weird. We have our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. This is volume 2. This looks like a very cute series about two men who are in a relationship and they want to travel the world before they get married. I think that's the premise of it. I started getting back into romance, and I can digest romance a lot easier if it is a queer couple. I don't know. And then we have Perfect Blue, Awaken from a Dream. This is the second book in the Awaken Blue series. I read the first one, loved it. I need to read the second one and give it a go. This is Junie Tyson's Zodiac War, Volume 3. I have such a soft spot for this series. I don't have my Goodreads, like, listed anywhere. I don't know, maybe I should link it. Who knows? But I've read the light novel. I've watched the anime. I have such a soft spot for this series. Is it the best? Absolutely not. I can be, like, objective and just say, yeah, no, this isn't that great. Like, this is actually very standard. I still love it. So I want to read the manga. Get the manga a go. And I feel like that's bad because, like, if I do end up loving it, I'm not going to get rid of it because I have such a soft spot for it. Like, I don't have the anime. I should actually look into buying the anime. Anyways, but I do have the light novel, and the light novel I gave 5 stars. I love the light novel. It's very run-of-the-mill, very basic. Story's predictable. I still love it. I don't know what else to say. And then we have A Story of 7 Lives, the complete manga collection by Shirakawa Jin. And this is a story about cats. I love cats. Historically, anything I read with cats gets a high score for me, and even if I find the story kind of shitty, still has cats. Still makes me feel something, and when I read, I just like to feel something, because I don't feel a lot anymore at all, on purpose. Next we have our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide, Volume 3. This is by Monet Sorarai. And then another one, we have Volume 1 of our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. And then Volume 4 of our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. So I really need to dig into the series and read it because I have Volumes 1 through 4. And if I love it, I would like to keep it around because I do love travel. I love cute romance, particularly cute queer romance. And then there are things I can't tell you by Edako Mofu. This is another boys' love. I hate saying boys' love. It sounds so gross. This is a yaoi. And then this is Links by Natsuki Kizu, who is the creator of Given. I've never seen Given, watched Given, read Given. I don't know much about it. I just thought this sounded cute at the time. It's another yaoi, and you will see I read a lot of yaoi and yuri by extension, but it's just, there's a lot more yaoi than yuri out there. And these would be the ones that if I wanted to unhaul them, I would try to pass them on to my brother's partner, because they are also queer and they like to read queer things as well. So I would pass that on to them. This is Dekaboko Bittersweet Days, which is a sequel to Dekaboko Days? I don't remember. Oh, Dekaboko Sugar Days. This is a sequel. So, this is also a yaoi. I will for sure, if my brother's partner doesn't want them for any reason, I will not be giving these away, even if I don't like them, just because they are mature, so they probably do have sexual stuff in them. I'll try to sell them if I can. If not, I'm not going to donate them to the library, because I live in the deep south, and I definitely am not going to put them into a little free library, because I don't want to expose kids to sexual material whatsoever. This is Secret X, or Secret? It's either Secret X or Secret. This is another yaoi, and this one would also, if I don't like it, I'm just going to store it in my closet, because it is also rated mature. And then we have Seaside Stranger Volume 2 by Ki Kana. This is still in the plastic, so that one is a mature yaoi. I think this is yaoi. I honestly picked these up because I like the covers of them, and I needed something to throw on my cart to get free shipping. So this is Seaside Stranger Volume 1. Which one are you? This is Volume 3. And then Volume 4. And because these have such a high rating, they are older teen, I will not be putting these in a little free library or donating them. So if I don't like them and I can't sell them online, they are just going deep into the bowels of my closet. And if my brother's partner doesn't want them, or if my nephew doesn't want them, I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea what my nephew's into reading. So, and then I have Obnoxious Hero-kun, the complete collection by Amanda. This thing is a chunky manga collection. But same thing, if I don't like this one, it's going to the bowels of my closet, because it is a rated mature yaoi, and I don't want to I'm sure y'all get what I'm putting down. And then we move to the back stack somehow. I'm just gonna put this down for a minute and do some rearranging. Oh. Okay, that's good enough for now. And as you can see back there, I actually have some Windbreaker lookup figures, because I don't know what to do with them. I don't exactly want to display them, but I'm just kind of too lazy to sell them right now. I went through a phase where I thought I would really love Windbreaker, and I do like Windbreaker, the manga. I just don't think I need to become that invested in it. I'm trying to cut back on my obsessions very poorly. Anyways, moving on. We have I Am a Cat by Soseki Natsume. This book terrifies me. It is so thick. It's over 1,000 pages. I have had this for like 5+ years. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. In fact, I want to read this so bad that I actually ended up buying the actual audiobook, like not getting it from the library, like spending my hard-earned money on the audiobook, because I told myself I was going to get through this book no matter what, and I still cannot bring myself to pick up the audiobook. And I think I'm afraid the cat's gonna die. Like, I don't want to read something and the cat dies, because that would fucking break me. And I'm so afraid that the cat's gonna die in it, and I don't want to read about a cat death right now. Human death, yeah, sure, whatever. Animal death, no fucking thank you. And then we have Sigutera, Volume 1, Volume 3, and Volume 2 by Minoru Furuya. I think I might have something else by him. Anyways, long story short, I went through a phase where I wanted to kind of branch out of horror and action and romance, and I wanted to read like more coming of age, stuff that hit home a lot harder. They were a lot more visceral in their subject matter, so that's why I picked these up, and I've never read them, so I need to get to reading those. I don't know if these should go into a little free library either, and I don't know if they should be donated to the library. I don't think they have any queer relationships in it, and I know I shouldn't be afraid of donating to my library queer materials. It's just that with the way the world is in the United States and everything that's going on, I am trying, this is very bad, I'm trying to fly as under the radar as I can in where I live, just because I know when shit hits the fan, it's not gonna be pretty, and I'm trying to enjoy my days of peace while they last. Which is really bad to say, because I am perfectly aware that a lot of shit is happening in where I live. Not really where I live, like I do believe where I live has actually been kind of quiet, luckily. But I'm aware of the other shit going down in the country that I unfortunately reside in. And it's not pretty. And I do understand that, like, saying I still want my days of peace is very selfish. I'm aware of that. But I know that's coming to an end. Anyways, let's quit dwelling on that. I don't think this is going to be a good video after all, but whatever. Next we have Dorohedoro, Volume 4 and Volume 6. I don't know how many Dorohedoros I actually have. I don't have the entire collection. And this is one where I absolutely loved the anime when it came out. I love this mangaka, Kyu Hayashida. Absolutely adore their work. Their art is beautiful. The stories are dark, bloody, kind of funny, kind of up my alley. It's just that this is a very long series, so I don't know if I would want to commit to buying it, but I don't know what I would. I don't want an incomplete series. I'm kind of on the fence on like what to do. Like, do I only have half of it in print and then just commit to buying the other half digital? Do I try to find room and get all of the print? Or do I just let it go and just say, hey, you watched the anime, that's good enough. Anyways, next is Drip Drip by Paru Itagaki. This is a mangaka for Beastars, and I really do like Beastars. And I have read this one, Sailing the Seven Seas. I really liked it, and I wanted to buy it physically. I might reread it just to get the translated portions, but yeah. I don't know, I have some weird reading taste, I feel like. And then we have Dorohedoro Volume 5. I Am a Cat, the manga edition. So maybe I'll read the manga edition of I Am a Cat first and see if there are any sad cat deaths. And if there are, I might not read the novel for a very, very long time. And then we have a Rabbit Game by Miyoshi. And I picked this up because I think this is like an indie published manga, and I really wanted to get into reading indie published mangas and like supporting the mangakas that way. But I don't know what it's about. I just like the name of it, and yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't show you guys this one. This is Mermaid Town. Tomohiro Sugawa collected stories. So this is another indie published manga, I believe, and it's a short story manga collection. It has sprayed edges. It's actually kind of cool when it comes to like manga. I haven't really seen much manga with sprayed edges. Anyways, next we have a My Hero Academia light novel. This is The School Breeze. This is volume 6. I have read volumes 1 through 5. I actually really enjoyed them. I do enjoy reading Boku no Hero Academia, where it's not as heavy because the story was kind of heavy. So I like reading just the kids being kids, essentially. And next we have Shino Can't Say Her Name by Shuzu Oshimi. And a lot of times I did buy Shuzu Oshimi assuming I was going to like them and like love them. And I'm very on the fix about this mangaka. Ladies on Top Volume 3. I feel so and Ladies on Top Volume 2. This is a mature manga about ladies who prefer to be on top. I'm pretty sure there's pegging in this story, which is why I was very interested in it, because I prefer reading about submissive guys and dominant women. Anyways, moving on. We have Is Love the Answer by Uta Isekai. This has to do with a romantic asexual. I picked this up because I am constantly on the fence about if I am aro. I don't think I fall into the ace category all that well, but I think I might be on the aro ace spectrum. I think I lean more towards the demi side, where I need like a strong connection before feeling any like feelings of romance or sexuality towards someone. But I picked this up because I love having aro ace representation in my collection, whether it be a manga or a book. I just love having aro ace representation. I do think it's very important. So then we have Blood on the Tracks Volume 11. Blood on the Tracks Volume 10. And Blood on the Tracks Volume 9, all by Shuzo Oshimi. I do believe this is one of his most popular, hard-hitting, fucked up manga series. And I'm at a weird point with this series because I have read some of it. I have quite a few volumes floating unread in my collection, but I don't know if I want to continue picking them up physically. I don't know if I should read this digitally. I don't know if I should pick it all up. This is a waste of money and what I'm about to say, and I am perfectly aware of this, but like, I don't know if I should continue to pick them all up, read it as a series, and then if I don't end up liking it, because I have heard the series it's very fucked up, and I do like really fucked up subjects, like really fucked up taboo subjects. I do enjoy that, reading that, and I do believe that this is very fucked up. I mean, obviously the ones that I have read have been very fucked up. I just don't know what to do with this series. Like, I'm on the fence. Should I keep reading it? Like, buying it physically? Do I buy it digitally? Do I do what I might need to do with Doro Hey Doro, where I read some of it physically and have some of it physically and finish it out digitally? I just, like, when it comes to manga, I really wish there was, like, you weren't dependent on the library to pick up manga collections. Like, I do wish there were, like, ways we could legally pay for manga, like subscription services. Because I know Viz has one, but, like, I wish there were other manga subscription services. I would pay for it because, like, I do like to support mangaka because I want more manga released in English. but it's very expensive. It's a very expensive hobby, and it takes up a lot of room. So I don't know if I should just read it digitally. But anyways, once again, I'm rambling. Next we have Return to Sugaru, Travels of a Purple Tramp by Asumu Dazai. Asumu Dazai is my favorite author ever. I absolutely adore his works. And I have all of his works that have been translated into English. And every year I just try to pick up one of his works and read it. I try to reread No Longer Human at least once a year. But if I am actually in a really good headspace, I don't pick that novel up because that novel will trick me into a very bad headspace. I love it, but it does fuck with me a lot. When I'm in a bad headspace, it doesn't mess with me. I stay in that bad headspace, which is fine. But if I'm in a good headspace and I read it, it does trigger me back to that bad headspace. So, and I've only had like a few really bad weeks of like a really bad headspace where, you know, I just haven't wanted to exist in 2025. Which, I mean, I don't want to exist, period, but, like, I've only had a few where, like, I really did want to exist, if you catch my drift. But it comes and goes. I'm trying not to be in a bad headspace because of how shitty everything is, and it just makes everything a lot worse. Next, we have Jose, the Tiger and the Fish, the light novel. We have Ibitsu by Haruto Ryo, which I have actually started this. I don't know if you can see my Twisted Wonderland. I don't even know if you can hear me. My Twisted Wonderland bookmark, but I have started this, and I ended up putting this back into my unread bin because I'm not enjoying this at all. Like, I don't really fuck with this whatsoever. And I feel really weird saying that because I've eyed this story for so long as a horror story, and I thought I would love it. And, like, it was actually kind of hard to get. And I just don't really enjoy it whatsoever, so I don't know I don't know if I should finish it or if I should just call it quits and get rid of it. And next we have Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the light novel. This is the only Birth by Sleep. Correction. This is the only Kingdom Hearts novel I have. I don't know once I finish this if I should pick up the other novels because I love Kingdom Hearts. One of my favorite things ever. I have several tattoos, several things in my collection that are Kingdom Hearts themed. Kingdom Hearts is the whole reason why I like Disney. It's why I end up traveling to Disney a lot. Kingdom Hearts and Twisted Wonderland. Reason why I go to Disney, honestly. But I don't know if I should pick up the light novels because they're non-canon, so like the stories don't really matter. But I only picked this one up because Birth by Sleep has my favorite character in it, which is Vanitas. I do love reading more about Vanitas, whether it is canon or non-canon. Next we have My Girlfriend's Child, which I picked this one back up because once again I was going through that phase where I wanted to read really hard-hitting manga. Like, I really wanted to quote-unquote adultify my manga collection. And I know this one was like about two teenagers struggling with the fact that like she got pregnant and like what the social ramifications of that was going to be. So I have volume 2 and I'll just need to see if it's worth continuing. I will say, I think even if this is worth continuing, this would be one that, like, unless I just hardcore absolutely, like, Volume 1 was good. Obviously, I liked Volume 1 enough to pick up Volume 2 because I did read Volume 1 before getting Volume 2. I think this would be one that even if I loved it, like, I would continue reading this one digitally and not physically and just donating my physical copies. Because I just don't think that this would be a series that I would want to keep around on my shelves or reread in the future, which a lot of times when I keep manga, it's either because, like, one, I really love the manga as a whole. Like, from start to end, I absolutely loved it. And I might never reread it, but, like, it was a 5-star, like, solid 5-star series. Or it would be a series that I, like, continually want to go back and read. And I do continuously, like, every year I do like rereads of certain manga, and like that's why I would want certain mangas to stay around. And even some of my favorite series, like my favorite longer series, I am like having like a heart to heart with myself and trying to figure out if I want to keep those longer series around or if I just want to keep my favorite volumes around and just get rid of like the parts I don't like. Which is really bad. I know. Anyways, we have No Longer Allowed in Another World, Volume 2. This is the only isekai series I've ever really enjoyed that wasn't like a satire. Kind of fucking weird. This one is kind of fucking weird because, like, long story short, the protagonist tried to kill himself. And when he killed himself, he woke up in another world. And I think he just continuously tries to kill himself, which is relatable. And I do think, if I end up liking Volume 2, I would probably continue this series on digitally. I do think a lot of this is, like, Osamu Dazai coded, which I love Dazai, so you know. And next up, we have Keep Your Hands Off Ezuken, Volume 3. I think I have Volumes 1 and 2 somewhere in this list. I don't actually think I've read this, or maybe I have. I don't remember. I love the Ezuken manga, or not manga, anime. It was my favorite anime of that season whenever it came out. Absolutely loved it. Loved the music. I thought it was so unique that I wanted to have the manga. And then, like, I'm just kind of like, well, did I need the manga? I love the anime. But I don't know if the anime would translate the same in manga format. Blood on the Tracks, Volume 8. Blood on the Tracks, Volume 7. It's getting hard to reach these. Then we have Solvenin by Inio Asano. I love Inio Asano. He has another one that writes really kind of messed up, like psychologically messed up manga. Oyasumi Punpun. Love it. Love it. That's another series where I cannot touch it if I'm in a good headspace. If I read that when I'm in a good headspace, I'm in a bad headspace. But if I read it when I'm in a bad headspace, does absolutely nothing. I can read it and deal. But this is another one of his works. I do try to collect all of his works. A lot of Asano's works have actually ended up being really messed up. Really psychologically messed up, and I love it. As bad as that sounds. I do actually really enjoy it. So, I do think even if I didn't like that one as much, I might keep it around just because of the mangaka. Then we have Blood on the Tracks, Volume 12. A Man and His Cat, Volume 10, by Umi Sakurai. I love this series. This is such a cute, sweet, lighthearted, has made me cry at times series about a man whose wife dies and he goes and adopts a cat that is really unwanted from a pet shop because, you know, the cat, people kind of thought the cat was a little ugly, and bringing the cat into his life has allowed him to connect with other people around him and is bringing life back into his life after his wife has died. I love this series. This series is so long. I was not expecting this to be 10 plus volumes, and it is. And I am at that point where I'm like, do I continue to buy it because I am so deep into it? I mean, this is rated for all ages, so like this would be something that maybe I would reach out to my friend and see if her daughter would be interested because she's at that age where she's reading. I would love to introduce my friend's daughter to manga. So like I don't know if I should continue to read this digitally and just donate it. I don't know if I want to have all of the volumes of this story on my shelf just because it's so big. I love it. I love the story, but it is a huge series, and I was not expecting that when I first started reading it. I should have did some research, but God, I don't research anything. Next we have Tokyo Revengers, a letter from Keisuke Baji. Tokyo Revengers, I fucking loved. Like, when I had my mental breakdown, when I lived in Kansas City, Tokyo Revengers is like the one thing that got me through it, to be completely honest. And like, I dove so far into that series. Like, I have a shit ton of merch. I no lie have probably spent $1,000+ just on that one series in merch and manga. And this is a spin-off, and Baji was my favorite character. I just don't know if I, like, need it on my shelf, you know? Like, I'll read volume 1, I got it for pretty cheap, I'll read it, and then I might just move on with my life. And here we have A Man and His Cat, volume 11. I think there's more, but I do love this series, I'm just at an impasse with it. And then I have I Hear the Sunspot, 4 Seasons, volume 2. I don't know why I keep buying this series, to be honest. I picked it up because I thought it was going to be a shorter series. And it was like a slow burn between, I think he's deaf. Yeah, I think he's deaf and a non-deaf man. It's just gone on so long, and honestly, I'm not really interested. Like, I've never really been hardcore interested in this, and I think I only continue buying it because I still have it on my shelves, and I'm a completionist. Like, I actually, this is another one where I've started it, and I wasn't enjoying it, so I put it back in my unread bin to try to read. So, that would be one where I probably just need to part with the entire series because I'm not enjoying the series and I need to quit buying it. And if any more come out, I just need to suck it up and not just like erase it from my mind. And next we have The Goodbye Cat by Hiro Arukawa. The Traveling Cat Chronicles was one of my favorite stories. I listened to it at work and it made me bawl like a little baby. Oh my god, that story like tore me up on the inside. I love it, so I ended up buying it and putting it on my shelves. And this is not a sequel or a prequel, this is just by the same author, and this is short stories. This is probably going to tear me up. I'm probably going to cry like a little baby, and I'm going to love it because I love books that do move me emotionally. I love being moved emotionally, and a lot of the things I do read just make me cry, and that's good because I have problems with emotions. Okay, only one more stack left and we're an hour in. It's kind of bad. Next we have Junie Tyson, Zodiac War, volume 2. We have Speedgrapher, volume 1. I loved Speedgrapher when I was a kid. I think I was like 12 when I first watched Speedgrapher, which it's not a series for a 12-year-old. But I saw that the manga was getting released. I got it for pretty damn cheap, so I bought it. I don't know if I would continue with this manga. Maybe if I can pick it up secondhand pretty damn cheap, or if I need to reach free shipping on another order, I'll pick it up then. But it's kind of a messed up story, if I'm being honest. But I have a soft spot for the anime, so I wanted to pick up the manga. This is Junie Tyson Volume 4, and then Junie Tyson Volume 1. Then we have Orochi by Kazuo Umez, Kazuo Umez, Volume 3, and then Orochi Volume 4. These are absolutely stunning editions. I've read 1 and 2 and I really love them. And I don't think this is that long of a series, and I really wanted to get into Kazuo Umez because, like, I know he was, like, a huge staple in the horror genre when it comes to manga, and Orochi has been really good so far. I didn't like one of his other series, A Drifting Classroom. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. But I don't know. These are stunning editions. I just love these, and I think if I do enjoy it, I might finish it out because I don't think the series is that long. Next we have The Crater by Asumu Tezuka. Yeah, this thing is huge. I think this is an indie published manga at that, but Tezuka has one of my favorite short stories, which is Jibun Kaigi, I think that's what it is. The meeting of selves, in a long story short, is about this boy and his future selves and come together, and they try to convince him to do, he makes it big, he earns a lot of money, and the future selves try to like steer him in a certain way, and then his child self comes in. This is a spoiler. His child self comes in, realizes this is who he is in the future. It's not a happy future he's gonna live, and his kid self kind of himself. And then the present self and the two future selves go away. And I love it because it's very messed up. It's a very kind of messed up story. It's a short story. I don't think it's in this one. I would love to see that story get published in English. But, because of that being my favorite short manga story ever, I wanted to pick up more works by Tezuka, and I picked up this one because I don't know why, but it was a Kickstarter, so yeah, it's an indie published work, and I would love to see more Tezuka get translated into English, because I just need to have Jibun Kaigi in my hands somehow. It's my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite short stories ever. I just love the message behind it. Like, my takeaway from it is, like, if your younger self could see how your older selves are living, would your younger self want to grow into that life? I mean, yeah, there's, like, obviously different paths you could take, but if that is where you're gonna end up, and you know that's where you're gonna end up, is it worth going through all that hardship just to be unhappy in the future? Oh no, we're falling. Oh no, we're falling. Okay, we're not falling anymore. But anyways, I got off on a tangent with that. It's great. If you can find it, I definitely recommend you reading Jibun Kaigi. And it is actually referenced in Eve's song. So that's actually where I picked it up from. Next I have I Want to Be Your Girl Volume 1 by Ume Takase. I think this is a romance between a trans woman and her friend. And I don't know where it's gonna go, but it looked really cute at the time. This is the guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all, Volume 3. I'm not getting rid of this series. I know once I read it, I'm gonna love it. It's sticking around. It's actually been one of my favorite Yuris to read at the moment. Super cute. Same thing with The Moon on a Rainy Night, Volume 8. I have been highly enjoying this series. I think the ending would just have to disappoint me super bad for me to like unhaul this entire series, because it's just a cute, wholesome Yuri manga about a deaf woman and her friend, and this is done very tastefully. So it's a lot longer than I had hoped it would be. I didn't realize it was going to be so long, but I love wholesome Yuri manga, so I love just having that representation on my shelf, so I'm not getting rid of it. Next we have The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 4, and then Volume 3. I was reading this, Sailing the Seven Seas, and then it quit updating, so I probably need to read the English translated editions, but I have Volumes 1 through 4. I have been loving this horror yaoi series. It's been fantastic. I love the is it analogy? Is analogy the word I'm looking for? I'm kind of stupid, so help me out. But I just love the horror tying into the yaoi, like the horror tying into the queer themes. I love it. It's been very impactful. So I wanted to support the series anyways, even though I was reading it Sailing the Seven Seas, but it quit updating. So no harm, no foul, I'll buy it. And I do think I want to own it physically, so I'm okay buying it physically. Next I have I Want to Be Your Girl Volume 2. I need to do, if I end up liking Volumes 1 and 2, I need to do some searching into the series, because if there's not a lot of volumes, if it's only like a 3 or 4 volume series, and I really liked Volume 1, like Volume 1 mostly, and it's a short series, I'll probably end up collecting this one physically. But if this series is anything longer than 4 volumes, because 4 volumes is like my sweet spot when it comes to romance series. I don't like a romance that drags. which is really weird because every romance I usually end up keeping on my shelf is like 8 or 9 volumes. If it goes over 10, I don't really like it as much, just because it takes so much space. But 4 is like my perfect number when it comes to manga. There's only 4 volumes in a manga series. I'll keep it. I love 1 volume manga series, are my favorite, honestly. But this one, volumes 1 and 2 will either have to blow me out the water, or it's gonna have to be a short series for me to continue picking it up physically. But if it's just okay and it's a longer series, I will be buying this one digitally, and this will be one of my like perks for if I read my monthly TBR along with everything else I'm gonna get from the library, because I know I'm going to get hit a reading slump. I hit it every year, and it's probably because I go into like February, like January and February every single year. I probably know I read like 50 books in January and February, and then the rest of the year, unless it's manga, it just sickens me. I don't want to pick up a damn book after reading fucking 50 books, which is my fault. I probably shouldn't cram them in like that, but they all just come on and hold at the same time. Anyways, next we have Takopi's Original Sin by Tyson 5. I heard a lot about this manga. It got an anime, and like I've heard this manga is really kind of messed up, and it's just 1 volume, so it took a lot for me to get this. Like I had this in my cart, and I was on the fence about buying it, so I was like, I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to buy, so I'm just gonna sit on my cart for one night, and then when the next day I decided to buy it, it was out of stock, and then it was out of stock for like 6 months, and it finally came back into stock, so I decided to buy it physically, which is probably really stupid. Maybe I should have just picked that up digitally. And then we're on the last manga. The last manga I have here is Brain Damage by Shintaro Kago. He writes a lot of messed up horror, and I love messed up horror. His artwork is just kind of disgusting. I kind of love it. I will say the plot of his manga I'm not on board with. I have one of his other series here already. I don't really like the plot of his manga, but the visuals are what sells it for me. And if a manga has good horror visuals, like really messed up drawings, I'll keep it around. I will. This plot can kind of suck. If your horror's good, if your body horror's good, got me on board. But okay, this video is well over an hour because I rambled a little bit too much. I do hope to be around more doing just like off camera game series. Maybe I'll keep you guys updated on where I am with my manga. I don't know how many unread series I have. My goal is to at least read 2 a month, which doesn't sound like a lot because like manga I can get through in a day, but I have gotten a lot slower when it comes to like reading, just because like work tires me out and all that fucking jazz. So my goal would be to read 2 manga a month, unless I like get like a thick boy like this, and then it would just be 1 manga a month. 1 manga and maybe like a book. That's my goal. So 2 mangas, 1 book, or 1 chunky boy and a book. And I think if I can hit that goal, like if I read 2 of my physical manga and a book, I will allow myself to buy like 1 digital manga, maybe 2 digital manga, if I'm really good. You know, I have to give myself a little treat to do this. So, we'll see. I think I'm gonna I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like, maybe I should gamify this and put everything on a spinner and just let the spinner choose my fate. And if I get a series, I'll just read 1 of the series. I don't know, because like I don't want the spinner to be cruel to me and then like give me the really thick fantasy book I need to read for this year, because I'm not exactly ready to buy the ebook. But I do have a feeling I'm going to need the ebook because I don't like holding a thick physical book. I just don't like it. In fact, like I've even gotten to the point where I kind of prefer reading manga on my e-reader. Like I will look I will browse the library more often. Like, I even read old manga that I have from the library. I've done an entire reread of, like, pretty much every JoJo's part up to 6 and 7. I'm working through 6 and 7 right now. And I've just gotten it all through my library. And it's been great. I do own them physically. Like, I love JoJo's. One of my favorite series is one where I'm going to have both the Japanese and English volumes, and I'm just going to have to find space for them. But, anyways, that's my unread book collection. Most of my unread books. Like I said, I didn't show you all of my Osamu Dazai. I do have every single one of them untranslated, or all of his translated works. I do have them. And I read one a year, unless they're really heavy and sad. And I can't read heavy and sad when I'm in a good mood. So, hopefully, I won't have to sit down in 2027 and do a haul like this. And I hope to have purged a good bit of my physical collection and have made room on my bookshelves. Because I probably have like 7 or 8 containers under my bed that are filled with read manga. And maybe they deserve a life on my shelves, or I don't know. They don't deserve to be living underneath my bed. I just don't have space. And I have an entire bin in my room, in my closet, that's filled with read manga. So I just need to be better. And I mean, I've even been doing that with merch. Like, if there's... The only positive, saying that very tentatively, thing I can say about 2025 is it's made me more hyper aware of my spending. Like, I don't just randomly buy manga or merch. I can't say I don't randomly buy manga, because I'm not gonna lie, if I need to get free shipping, I will toss a random manga onto my cart, and that's how we end up with this much unread shit in my collection, unfortunately. But just 2025 as a whole really tempered my whole spending, and prioritizing like certain things I wanted to do. Like, in 2025 I went on a cruise, which I've always wanted to do, but I never prioritized doing because I thought I had time. And I just decided, hey, I've got money, I might as well take a cruise, just do it once, get it off my bucket list. And it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I did it. I just did it because, like, I had the money. I don't know how life is going, and... Anyways, this is getting way too deep. There's been a lot of deep shit in this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you stuck through for the entire hour, goddamn, you're the real trooper in my life. If you like, you can leave a like, you can comment, you can subscribe. You don't have to do any of that. It's your life, and I'm just a random stranger in it, taking up some of your day. I will be back around on this channel at some point in time doing, like, random playthroughs. Definitely off camera. I do not record myself when I game. And I will maybe update you guys whenever I do book check-ins. I suck at, like, talking about the plot and stuff. But I hope you guys had a decent 2025. I hope 2026 treats you with kindness and isn't rough. And I hope you get everything you want. But until the next video, bye guys!